Are you recording yet?
Yep. Hello, Internet. Everybody out there in the Internet. This is Chris Adams, the Tech Master, joined by...
Chris Adams, the Tekken Master. Is that your new slang?
That's my new intro on stuff like this.
Oh, yeah. This is Buff Larkin. Not changing it for no peer pressure, that's for sure. Tekken. Chris Adams, the Tekken Master. I'm telling you, I like that. I like that. It's like James Bond 007. That's exactly what that is. Tekken, it has almost been a year since your golden voice and my raspy whatever you can call my voice have gotten together to talk about life in general. I have missed you like the deserts miss the rain. That is a true statement because, like I said in the pregame, I said, there's only 5 people in my hand that I give a crap about, and Chris Adams, the Tekken Master, is one of those people. Absolutely. So I am so glad they were able to somehow fix my microphone enough for us to talk to each other, absolutely. But I know one thing. It hasn't been that I haven't been following your adventures. It hasn't been that I don't know what you're doing. It's not that I don't know when you sleep. It doesn't matter that I don't know what you eat. I know everything about you. It's not that I'm stalking. I'm just a concerned friend. I know for a fact that you, Chris Adams, the Tekken Master, have been obsessed with a game. You've been waiting years upon years upon years upon years for this, and you've been excited. And you've been disappointed, and you've been excited even more so about what you've heard, all the rumors, all the innuendo. You've been looking at everything. Mass Effect Andromeda is what you've been waiting for all your life.
All my life.
And now, well, since number 3 came out, and you're fine at the end of number 3. Number 3 for you was fine, but then they said Andromeda. It's like, ooh, and you got all excited. So Tekken, I have lots of questions because you know something? I've played maybe 10 minutes of Mass Effect 1 because I bought it to play online with you, and then you never showed up. So I still have it upstairs by my PS3, but it's waiting for the day when I can play it again with you, if you ever show up. How was Mass Effect? You spent like 70 hours on this game, so right off the hop, that's a failure. Because you finished it all in 70 hours. And for Mass Effect, that is a huge failure, isn't it not?
No, the other games weren't as long out of the gate.
Oh, really? So how long was the average? So how long was 1, 2, or 3? Like, did it get longer as the series progressed?
Well, yeah, they got longer, but the thing about 3 is like, you know, they added DLC after launch, so when it first came out, it was probably like 40 hours maybe or less. I don't know. It wasn't. It was long, but it wasn't like as long as Andromeda. Andromeda is like easily the longest compared to all of them, just because of I think the open world aspects make it more like explorational. So you spend more time looking around and going places and doing stuff, which is very enjoyable.
So okay. So this is the first game in the series that you can actually go planet side and do stuff.
No, that's no. Like the other games,
like open, like because from the videos that I saw, there was sunlight. It was like, what? This is Mass Effect. Everything's dark in ships or on planets inside buildings. This one, I saw the thing, and they're actually outside. You get a tan.
Well, and like that aspect as far as like the open world thing, that's what they basically changed up was it feels to me like what I've been calling it feels like Knights of the Old Republic 3 that we never got because the hub worlds that you go to are open like those games where you can just go wherever on the hub world as you're doing a quest or looking for things or adventuring and having fun.
So, tell me the story of Andromeda and how it relates to, like, say, Mass Effect 3. Is there any connection still, or is it a brand new kind of story?
There's stuff in there that connects I couldn't talk about without spoiling it, but the way that it connects, like, tangentially is essentially somewhere after Mass Effect 2, there's a group of, a bunch of not colonists, but, like, citizens of the Milky Way that are like, you know what, let's go to this galaxy because we've basically done everything we can in the Milky Way and there's nothing else to do, or whatever their motivation is, and they're like, all right, yeah, let's go do this. And
it depends on who the president of the Milky Way is.
So
is that what you're saying? That
No.
the president of the Milky Way is some guy who is spouting stuff or she, you never know, is just saying lies and just causing lots of trouble.
No. So you have like the space explorers pretty much, and they're like, well,
that's what it sounds like to me. What you're saying is that there's the president of the Milky Way is lying to a lot of people and doesn't know what he's doing. Probably he's not really a politician per se, just some guy that got voted in. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do.
Couldn't even
science. What's that all about?
I didn't say anything to that effect at all.
Okay.
So you have a bunch of space explorers and other people, and just, there's a bunch of people that are like, oh, well, I kind of want to just leave my life behind and go to this other galaxy and see what's going down there, help them colonize and expand there. And then everybody has, like, their backstory of, like, why I left, blah, blah, blah. And so in order to do that...
Was it because they tried to go into the Milky Way and they were told they didn't have the proper paperwork and they were sent back?
No, it's just like, there was like the established order of the Milky Way. You had the Council, the Citadel, the Sari, Turian, Solarian, Krogan humans.
Okay, so you say these guys were from Pluto, right? And they came and they tried to come, into, like, say the main council or whatever. It says, no, you are one of the planets where we don't let people in from. And so, you get out of here. You're not allowed in here.
Yeah,
no?
they just wanted to, like, escape the whole establishment that was already there from the Milky Way, and then go and do their own thing. And so you had these arcs for each main council race. So you have, like, the Sari arc, Turian arc, Solarian arc, and the human arc. Well, there's also another arc with, like, some of the other...
Cuisinart arc?
There's a fifth arc with some other species that weren't ready to go yet, so they left later.
We've already talked about arcs already.
We did talk about arcs.
Tekken Master arcs, absolutely. All right, so they've now branched out, and so there's the Milky Way, and so now they're going into the next, which is Andromeda, then?
Yeah, and it takes 600 years for them to get there. So by the time they get there, their whole life that they left behind is like, it's kind of, it's like, they'll never be able to go back, and everything's, lost in time. They can never go back to the life they had. And so they get there, and then stuff happens, and then there's like an anomaly in the system that, it's not exactly how it was when they looked at their space charts of like, oh, this should be like this and blah, blah. There's actually...
because how long was the difference? You said 600 million years?
No, 600 years.
600 years. Well, yeah. Who charted that course out? Fire him.
So they get there, and not everything is going according to plan. And they also, like, put something ahead of the arcs so they could, like, dock at the arcs and then make it its own Citadel-like thing called the Nexus. Mm-hmm. And so there's a bit of there's a bit of unrest happening because things are not going according to plan and things are, like, behind schedule. And so people there's, like, somewhat of a like Lord of the Flies or just a civil unrest on the Nexus because things aren't going according to plan and they're running out of supplies, and they had to, like, do a bit of drastic measures to maintain order and civility. So there's been some stuff happening there, but then the humans get there and they're like, okay, well we're here, and then what's happening? Oh, also the like main difference between, I would say, Andromeda and Mass Effect trilogy, the 1, 2, 3, is like in the trilogy you had Shepard, who's a Spectre, who's basically all about, I'm gonna find out what's happening. I'm the Council's tip of the spear. I can just go wherever, do whatever, kill whoever, to maintain peace and order in the galaxy and make sure stuff gets done or save the day. And then here your role is the Pathfinder, which is completely different. You're basically just a like I said earlier, like a space explorer person out there colonizing, just trying to, like, make sure things are safe, investigate, be like, okay, well, is this safe? let's set up a colony. Let's set up an outpost. Let's do all these things that we would do if we were setting up planets to live on and make sure everything's cool and running according to plan. You're not really some... I mean, there is like a background you can choose when you're making your character as far as like a soldier or infiltrator, engineer, leader, blah, 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 blah. But it's not really... It doesn't really like gel into the story super seriously.
Let me jump in here a second. So, what have you enjoyed? I know you played Shepard more with 3 games as opposed to your Pathfinder, but which one are you enjoying?
Ooh,
are you enjoying the Pathfinder?
I enjoy the Pathfinder. I just feel like it is much more in tone with like what Mass Effect is like about, as far as like the tone of the game. It's like about exploration and like diplomacy and like political maneuvering, versus just like shooting aliens in the face and making and like disarming bombs and all that action stuff.
Let me see what we got here. Okay, so that, yes. So I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
I was also like, it feels much more like a like, I think the thing about the trilogy that like was also some of the comparisons that people made was like, you know, it's very similar to Star Trek. So like, I'd say like the Andromeda is much more in line with that, as far as like you feel like you're part of like something like Starfleet with the Andromeda Initiative and like the Pathfinder and like what you're doing as that person in that role, as you're just like going to these alien planets, and like if you meet an alien, you have like first contact protocols that you follow, and it's like, oh, we're peaceful, we're just here to, you know, be peaceful. And
so is this kind of an RPG-ish kind of a thing as well? Of course it is, but
yeah, it is.
But so do you have to adjust things like, you know, strength and intelligence and all that, or is that just kind of standard?
No, you don't worry about the stats. You just have the skill tree like you did in the trilogy. Where
okay.
Like you have the whatever your... Well, they completely revamped it really though, because previously you could just choose from 1 to 6 classes: soldier, vanguard, engineer, infiltrator, sentinel, and something else, adept. And so you had those 6 classes. But then here you have the profile system, which is basically... yes, you can have any ability at any time, because they have like the whole skill tree of all the classes are available to you. But then when you switch profile, it basically, whatever class you're in, when you're using that profile, it buffs your stats for specifically being good at whatever it is you want to do at that time. So if you're a soldier, you're going to have like do more weapon damage. If you're an engineer, your tech abilities do more damage and they recoil fast or cool down faster. If you're an adept, your biotics are more powerful, yada yada yada. So it's cool.
What's the hardest character to be?
Hardest character to be, it depends on your playstyle really, because you can use any of them and like be fine. But I would say probably
for you it would be what?
I would say the adept, just because. Well, in previous games it would be the adept because you have to break the shields on your enemies before you can actually use those abilities. But it seems like in this game that there's not as many armored enemies which are immune to that, and the shielded enemies aren't really as many either. So it's like you can have like more free reign with an adept. So they're not as nerfed.
Now, something I saw on your Facebook that you're in Twitter, because you're on there as well. The Tekken Master is your Twitter handle. You really did not like one of the characters in the game.
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, you were not happy with the way the character, like the one. There was one certain either character or division that just was. You thought it was an upgrade, but it wasn't much of an upgrade. I'm trying to remember what it was, but you weren't very happy at one certain point that you're saying this is not what it was. I'll have to look on Twitter while you rant.
It's probably the Nomad, but that's basically just the new Mako. But then after you upgrade it significantly, it does perform better. So it ended up not being as terrible as it is in the beginning. But in the beginning, it's just slow and clunky and hard to maneuver and a pain and not as good as the Mako. And you're just like, why did they even bother putting this in if it's not improved upon the original?
So overall, did you enjoy the story?
Yeah, I liked it.
And so basically, you're finding new planets, you're cultivating them, for the future generations that are getting kicked out of the Milky Way, and so who's the big bad then? Is there a big bad?
Yeah. There's this alien race called the Ket, and basically they're trying to genetically manipulate all other species to be like them and to like get their essence and genetic material under theirs. It's essentially like if like you made like an analogy to Star Trek, they're kind of like the Borg. They're just trying to like assimilate everybody, but they're not like they can't just do it like immediately. So they have to like study someone and then like break down their genetic material, blah blah blah, and then they like there's this thing called exaltation where they basically just like because at first I was calling them the space vampires, but then I saw this better analogy about the Borg, and like so basically like they stick you with these thingies. Not these thingies. They stick you with these needle things, or they show this in one part in the game where like they exalt the Angara, and so they stick them and then like they inject them with something, and then they basically convert them into turning into a Ket. So it's like they can turn you into them, and that's their plan for like everybody. And so you basically are trying to like once you see that you're like, okay, we gotta stop these guys because they're just gonna try to do this to everybody, and we can't let that happen.
Mm-hmm. So it's come up with good and bad reviews, this game. Can you see where the bad reviews are coming from, or?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, okay. Some of the things I can, but then some of them I'm like, that's just nitpicking, and it's not that big of a deal. Like everything about the facial animations and just like character models, these are not like I can't stand these character models. Look at them, they're so. It's like, dude, really like. Are you an expert animator who works at Pixar making however much of a year? I don't think so. Like I don't really think you're to me it's like I could care less about what you have to say about this because I don't think you're that your expertise here in this field is like not up to par with someone I would like take over the people that make
like GameSpot 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I disagree with that review. I mean it's whatever. I don't think scores or I don't think reviews should be scored anyway. But it's like to see like that number is like. The game is, to me, it's a solid 7. Okay, so it's like 6 is too low, but it's like just to see it get that score is like just like a slap in the face because the gameplay is amazing and the story to me I enjoyed it, and I think also like people say the writing is bad or there's bad voice acting, but it's like there is so much there that is not bad or terrible, and then it just like nitpicks the bad and be like, oh. Look at all this terribly written game and the bad voiceover, blah, blah. It's like, dude, like compared to so many other games that are out, and like you look at how like the complete work of the voiceover in those games and compared to this game, it's like to me it's like not even a comparison. It's like whatever, dude, whatever. So explain to me the Mako.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Okay, so the Mako was like the rover that you use to go around on planets in Mass Effect 1, but then they like cut it and then put in 2 they put in the Hammerhead, and then in 3 they completely cut out like vehicle traversal in 3, so it's not even in there. But in this one they brought it back with the Nomad, and then until you upgrade it, it's not really up to, it's not even up to Mako levels. It's just like this is a piece of crap, and I don't like driving around in it.
But then you upgraded it, and it was fine.
Yeah, I mean it's not fine. It's just better, and it's not as bad as it is when you first get it. And it's just cause, like when you first get super slow, you can't. Well, you probably can go like uphill, but it's just so slow when you go uphill. And then like when you get straight phase, you're going and you're boosting, but you're not going and boosting as fast as you feel you should be. So it's just like it's like whatever.
So if you were to rate the Mass Effect Andromeda, let's put it in the mix of the other 3 Mass Effects. Where would you rate it? I want you from the best to the worst.
I would say the worst just because the first one didn't.
Wow.
I mean that's like a high bar, dude. Like first Mass Effect to me is like one of the best games ever, and then 2 and 3 are like arguably better or as good. Well, 2 and 3 are easily better, but like in their own separate thing. Like to me, 1 is just like a home run, and then like 2 and 3 like improved upon the formula to be like effing amazing, and like 3 is like one of the best games of all time. It's just like so good. It's just like, and then like as a whole, they're just like that trilogy is just like incredible. Like you can't like untouchable. It's like it's very hard to top that, and just like very few games will probably ever get that close. And so to me, it's like that's such a high bar. And then Andromeda, like it's up there. It tries like there's stuff in it that you can like feel like, oh, this is kind of like that part in Mass Effect 1 where it's like the stuff happens here that they're trying to do here, but then it doesn't. It just doesn't hit that mark or like meet that bar. It goes under it.
And now, is there going to be any more Mass Effect games coming out with this Andromeda kind of handle? Is this a one and done, or is there going to be more coming?
I guess we'll see, because they said that they're going to announce tomorrow on Tuesday whatever their plans are for it. So I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be DLC and add-on stuff for this one, but I mean...
And is it worth the investment for getting DLC? Would you do it?
Well, of course I'm going to do it, because I enjoyed it, so yeah. But,
so did you get Platinum?
I had like 2 more trophies and I have Platinum.
And what are those 2 trophies?
One of them's... Oh, okay, here's another thing I really hate about the game. It's like they have these Sudoku puzzles like at these vaults that you have to go to, and in order to get into the vaults, you have to solve them. So it's just like...
Did you say seductive puzzles?
Sudoku
Oh,
puzzles.
Okay, good, because I'm saying seductive puzzles. They're the best kind of. They're the best kind to solve.
And so,
I got a key for that. Go ahead.
So, basically, there's one trophy where basically you have to solve 20 of those in one playthrough, and then I just figured out, because I was reading about it, after you pass some of them, you can't go back to some of them, so I can't just, like, use one of the playthroughs I've already done. I have to start over again, so I've already...
Oh, so how many stuff to do?
So, yeah, there's that, and then,
How many you got to do, though, the Sudoku?
There's 20. Well, there's more than 20, but you have to do 20 in one playthrough, and then I've already passed, like, a bunch of parts on my other playthroughs where it's like, oh, I can't go back and get the other ones that I've missed. So
Sudoku, really? Out of all the puzzles, they did that Sudoku. Have you ever played Sudoku? I love that.
No,
I love
haven't,
that.
and I'm not good at puzzles, so when I got to those parts, it was very frustrating. I mean, the only
Just remember, 1 to 9 in every box, and then there's like 9 boxes, so you can only have one number in, and then each row going across is 1 to 9. So it's fine. At the start, they'll probably have almost all the numbers in there, and they'll just have you fill it up. But as you get near the end, it'll be like hardly any, right? So you'll be fine. Hey, that's what the internet's for. Just cheat.
and then, but like the only saving grace about that is there's an item you can get that automatically decrypts it. So at least you can get past them. It just took me a while, like, to find in game like where you can get them from. So I kind of like, after I had like one of my other playthroughs, I actually found that there's a part in the game where I probably would have actually got through a lot quicker, but I got to that part where I couldn't get past it, and then I just went and like did side quests. So it added like probably like a ton more time onto that playthrough, my initial playthrough, than I would have had. But overall, I enjoyed it. So it's like whatever. So it's just a funny like alternate. Like in an alternate universe, that doesn't happen, and then, but I probably like wouldn't did the side stuff anyway. So, but I just would have had like a better playing through the story stuff before I got to do the side stuff. But
So are you officially done with the game in theory? All the side quests are done. Everything else is done. Are you officially spent on this game? And like everything you've done?
Almost. I mean, I have my main playthrough. I'm on 98%, so there's a couple things I'm like missing, but it's like nothing major. So I'm just waiting for the DLC stuff to come out so I can play through that.
Is the other hidden trophy like a mystery that you got like question marks in it, so you don't know what exactly it is?
No, it's you can either get all the profiles up to level 6, which is basically just getting a bunch of skill points in each skill for each class, or you can get in multiplayer, I think it said something about a bonus stat up to level 6, which is getting a character level 20 and then prestiging them in multiplayer. So I do that 6 times, but that takes a while. So
go with the other one then. That's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, they both take a lot of time, but I didn't know what the level cap was, but then after I saw that trophy, I was like, well, that's probably a lot. And then I got to level 90, or 92 or something, and it kept going. So I was like, okay, well, clearly it's either 99 is the cap, or it just keeps going after 99 until forever. So who knows? But if you're just gonna but like if you're like me, you're just gonna like play the game a lot anyway. It'd be a lot faster to just do that one instead of doing the multiplayer one because it's just a grind and it's not very fun. So, not to say the multiplayer's not fun. It's just like the grinding part isn't fun if you're just doing it to get a stupid trophy.
Exactly. If you're grinding for other things, then maybe you're good. Anyway, so Andromeda, a solid 7 out of 10. Worst Mass Effect game ever. That's the gist of what you just said.
You said that, not me.
No, you said it. I'm just paraphrasing.
I mean, it is the worst Mass Effect game, but that's just because the other ones are so good.
Would you play another Mass Effect Andromeda game if it came out?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just not as good.
The worst game ever.
Whatever. It's not the worst game ever. It's just not the best in the series.
There you go. No, they'll still put that on the cover box when it sells the complete edition. We get all of that on. Not the best ever, but good. Chris Adams, Tekken Master.
I mean, also there's like other stuff like the soundtrack's not as good because it is such an open world game and you're just going around and like shooting stuff a lot in the open world. There's also like a lot of audio issues where like the sound drops out. But
have you made peace with the with any of the settlers? You just blow their faces off. Like you come in here, hi, we come in peace, or do you just come in here guns blazing?
That's not how that works.
No? Okay, I just want to make sure.
But
I know how you Americans are. That's all I'm saying.
But there's a lot of like times where the soundtrack you can't really enjoy the soundtrack in this game because there's so much ambient noise as far as like combat or dialogue or just random sounds. And then the sound or when the music is playing, it's usually just like the combat themes of like you're in combat shooting stuff, so you don't really get to enjoy it like the soundtrack compared to the other games where it's just in the mix of stuff while things are happening, or it's just not as good or as strong as the previous game's soundtrack.
Are you able to make out with anybody in this game?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good for you. All right. So, Andromeda by Chris Adams, Tekken Master, 7 out of 10, worst of the series. All right, good, excellent. Let's get to, but he still loved it. He still loved it. That's the important thing. High bar. That's your statement. Hey, so, other big news coming out of the video game land, especially for you, young Tekken, is that Destiny is coming out with a sequel. What do you think about that, Jack?
I could care less. I'm not going to play it.
Wow! I leave you for a year, I don't talk to you, and all of a sudden your hate for...
I already hated that game. It was a love-hate relationship. Like, I'm not even, like, whatever, dude. Like, this, I'm so over Destiny. It's like, whatever, man. Like,
what has turned you away from your pride and joy?
That game is soulless, that's why. It's soulless and evil, and it caters to, like, the least common denominator,
no, does it have a noob tube?
Pandering of like, oh, you guys want some new stuff? Here's old stuff that we recycled. Go and do it again. Isn't it fun?
No, catering to the lowest common denominator is here's a noob tube. Go have fun on the multiplayer. That's what you're catering to the lowest common denominator is.
There's nothing to get excited about. It's like whatever, dude. It's like just more
that means you'd be able to visit planets maybe this year. And all that this time around, you may be able to visit planets and, find new things. They've improved. It has to be an improvement on what they've done. So therefore,
I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, I've lived in Destiny for 3 years, and I regret all of it.
No.
If I could go back and get all my time back, I would, because man, F that game.
What about the Cloak of Gargamel? That was a very important thing to you. I remember you saying that. I got the Cloak of Gargamel. It was fantastic.
None of the things in the game mean anything, so it's whatever. It's just like, okay, well, I have nothing else to do because the story's terrible and I've played through it and it's super short and crap. Oh, what else is there to do? Oh, there's all this crap, but it's completely useless. Whatever. I guess I'll go do it because I need something to do. Yippee.
All right, so if you were to put Destiny in the same lineup with Mass Effect, where would you put it in?
What do you mean? Where would I put it?
Well, where would you rate it? There's the 4 Mass Effect games and Destiny. I wouldn't
score it because it's unworthy of a score. And I
wow!
Think this game is garbage. Don't play it. It's crap.
Wow!
Don't waste your time.
What has changed you?
If you like fun, do not play this thing because it is not that.
Wow! You're coming out swinging, champ. Look at you going all crazy. Oh my goodness. I've never seen...
The only reason I've even played Rise of Iron is because Zaffro contracted me, and I'm like his assassin, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, if you give me this $40 PSN code, sure, I guess I'll get it, whatever. So
What? Whatever.
That's how I got roped into raid night last Tuesday, because it's like, oh, your free stuff. Ooh.
Sorry, who gave you the free stuff?
Zaffro.
Who the hell's Zaffro?
Who the hell's Zaffro? He's someone from the Game Advisory panel, or back when it was.
He gave you a $40 card to play?
It was a code.
Oh, wow. He's a nice... Zaffro's a very nice guy. Zaffro.
Okay, the thing about Destiny is, like, you need a team. If you don't have a team, like, you need, like, you need 5 other people that can, like, dedicate their time to hating themselves in that game like you can.
Johnny, you're right.
And so, you know, I guess they needed me, and that's how I got roped in, 'cause, you know, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in, and then it's like, you know, back there.
Did you get everything?
I got it. I had almost everything.
I think what the problem is...
But they just updated it with a bunch of new crap, but I don't care about it. I'm just there for my friends, because that's all it is about now. It's just the camaraderie with my raid team.
Well, you've done everything, right? So therefore, there's not much left to do. So yeah, of course, you're at that stage where you've done everything 3 or 4 or 10 times over, all right? And now you're in it just for your friends. That's the state. That's the level of where that's the evolution of, or maybe the de-evolution of the video game. Really,
I would say it's definitely to the detriment, because to me it's like I would rather play these awesome single player games like Mass Effect or The Witcher, where it's like I go and play something for like hundreds of hours, have a great experience, and then I've had that adventure and I can relive it if I want to and go play it again, or just think about the memories and be like, man, that was a fun time. Whereas like Destiny, it's just like, I hate myself. This is terrible. Why am I doing this? Because my friends drag me along. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Zaffro. Thanks a lot for nothing, Zaffro. But okay, so the thing is, it's you can take it like that, all right, and you'd rather play with yourself. That's fine. That's understandable. But good for you. Keep on. But you got to remember, there's a certain level that you've played this game a lot, and therefore you've done it all. So now, my whole thing about these kind of games is that you're spending an hour or an hour and a half on these raids, and I go, wow, it's like, to get like a gun. It's like I'm not even sure. Like how time consuming are these raids?
What do you mean, as far as like getting them done, or what?
Yeah, getting them done. Yes.
They're not. I mean, once you get them down, they're not that bad unless they're like really long.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm hearing you tell stories that I've spent an hour and a half on this raid to try to get and all we got was a gun.
Well, the thing is, like, you have three character slots. So it's like, for me, if you're someone like me who like runs the full trinity, and you have a warlock, hunter, and titan, that's 3 characters that you have to do that with every week. And it's like, that's, you know, you can't just be on one character. I mean, you could just do one character across three
exactly
three characters of the same class on one account. But then that's
in theory, on something, it's an hour and a half per each guy. That's 4.5 hours a week to get a gun.
But that's not what it's about anymore. Like, the raids now are just about, you know, the challenges and then completing the book. It's not about the gear, because you don't need it. So it's whatever.
So what's the book? What does that consist of?
It's basically just a bunch of BS challenges of like, oh, do this many times, and then like you slowly fill up meters that fill up pages that get your rank up on the book, and then you get emblems and other stupid rewards, and then like
shouldn't you you've played this game enough that shouldn't you be the author of this book? To be honest with you, the book by Chris Adams, the Tekken Master. Really, because you've played it for 3 years, you should be like, how far up in the ranks are you?
Well, I do a monthly video thingy about, here's what I'm doing in Destiny, here's where we're at, here's what I have, which is everything, here's what I don't have, which is like a few things, but then the Age of Triumph stuff came out and kind of ruined that, because now it's like, well, there's new stuff, but I don't care about it, so it's whatever, I just play for my friends now, it's whatever, that's That's my motto now.
On
Where
the
I
ranking,
be happy in this terrible game. I don't have to play it, but I'm playing, so whatever.
on the ranking system, was there ever a name on there that you always saw all the time, and he was like he's just above you, or they were just above you, and like, oh, I got to beat that guy. How's he always getting ahead of me?
No.
No? Okay. It's all about you? Good.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, well, a couple of big things coming in my world this 2017. Besides the marathon that you'll come to Toledo and see me running in Tekken, that should be exciting for you. How far is Toledo from Wichita?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. Thanks for caring. Anyway. Anyways, I was going to commandeer the bus and drive down to Wichita and come see you, but that's okay. All right, but this year in PlayStation that I'm very excited about are two different things. One is Fire Pro Wrestling is coming back, which is very nice. I'm very excited about that. But the other one that I'm really excited about, which I'm very surprised it took so long to come out for the PS4, was Hot Shots Golf. What's that? Hey, what's that? What's that?
Whatever floats your boat, dude. Whatever floats your boat.
Okay, no, good. This is nice counterpoint. So, I want to hear your counterpoint to Hot Shots Golf.
I don't have a counterpoint. I'm just like, whatever. That's your thing. Have fun.
Yeah, and you get to go online, and there's an online golf course. You can go knock it around and find people, and it's going to be a very exciting game. Now, What are you excited about?
Well, besides Mass Effect, this year, Red Dead 2 comes out at the end of the year. I mean, just at all?
Okay,
I
want your top 3 games that you're excited about this year. Even if you know that they'll be postponed to next year, I still want your top 3 that you say, these are the games I will be playing. Now, obviously, number 1 is Destiny 2. So there you go.
No, it's not. It's not. F that game.
What happens if somebody buys that for you for your birthday?
That's not going to happen. And if they do, I'll just trade it in for something else. So whatever.
Okay, that's
all
right.
Not play it and be happy with my life.
There you go. What happens? Okay, what has to happen in Destiny? Okay, do your 3 games, and then we'll talk about Destiny. Okay, go ahead. Your 3 games.
All right. Well, Tekken 7 in June, so yay to that. Finally ending the Kazuya Heihachi arc of over 10 years or something crazy. That's gonna be awesome.
And the Rainmaker is a character in that game, so or at least is a skin in that game, so you'll enjoy it. We'll talk about it when you get the game.
Red Dead Redemption 2, the follow-up to one of my favorite games of all time, in my top 5. Just John Marston's, the essential game that you must play, of an open-world adventure through the Old West. You go down to Mexico, stuff happens. And
is that out this year? I thought it was out next.
Oh. It's coming out it's supposed to come out at the end of this year.
Oh, okay. It won't.
And then I don't know a lot of stuff as far as what's later on this year, because Horizon was awesome, Mass Effect was good, Nier was good, and then I'm looking forward to Mario, but I'm not gonna pick it up because I'm not gonna get a Switch. So I'm gonna wait and see on the Switch because I want to get a bundle. But it's if I could get one game with it, I would definitely get Mario Odyssey because, dude, there really is nothing to say. Because it's in the pantheon of Mario games, and it's a effing 3D one now after having so many new Super Mario Brothers, which are 2D and just to me not as good. So you have 64, you have Sunshine, Galaxy 2, and then those games are all perfect. Sunshine's a bit whatever, but it's a 9.5 out of 10, whatever. It's a bit imperfect. The rest of them are perfect. It's whatever. They're just amazing Miyamoto masterpieces. So really looking forward to Odyssey because it's just a new 3D Mario game, and I love 3D Mario games. They bring joy and warmth and happiness to my life, and we are in a very dark time. Just saying. So I need that in my life right now.
And happiness trumps everything. Now, see what I did there? Anyways, okay, I got it.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
There you got it. Perfect. So let's discuss.
We're going to talk about Destiny 2.
Sorry?
Weren't you going to go into Destiny 2 about what?
Oh yes. What does? Okay, the company comes to you because they say, "Man, you wrote the book on this combat stuff. You are the author. Chris Adams, Second Master, what would you need to do? What would we need to do to improve on? Because they say, "Hey, man, you must love our game," and then you go, "Say, no, I think it's a big steaming pile of crap." And I said, "What? What? Okay, sorry, sir, sorry. We can't afford to lose you as one of our valued customers because you put videos up on YouTube of us and sell our game, help us sell our game. What do we need to do to improve Destiny 2? And this is where I hand the microphone to you, and you spout out your vile hatred for Destiny and what you change about it.
It's too far gone, dude. Like, to me, the original promise of what was there, we did not get, because it was like, you have an entire solar system of planets that you go to and have adventures on. You can only go to Earth, Mars, the Moon, and then all the other Crucible maps, which don't count, because F that crap, because you can't even play it. I mean, Crucible is like PvP, so it doesn't matter. And so it's like, you can't go to Saturn, but you have, like, the Dreadnought, whatever. So, Dreadnought, Cosmodrome, which is Earth, Dreadnought, Saturn, Mars, the Moon. That's four.
So you want to visit all the planets?
Yes, it's like every planet that has that. Well, that's not like a gas giant or something, or like if it is a gas giant, maybe the moon of that planet. Anyway, what I'm saying is, like, you can't just be like, oh, this is a planetary game that takes place in a solar system with all these planets, but you can't actually go to the planets, they're just there. That's not how that works, dude. You have to, like, go down to each planet and be like, oh, there's a thingy on each planet, you can go there, explore it, have adventures, whatever. And then also the story shit, so it's like, you can't exactly fix that when it's like, oh, Guardians, I am the speaker, the darkness, blah, blah, blah. Oh, save us, Guardians, the Hive, the Vex, the Taken, the Fallen, blah, blah, blah. I'm the speaker. I'm just going to stand here and talk all day because I don't really do anything. It's the Tower. Oh, the Vanguard. They're the Vanguard, and they send you out to do everything, even though they're, like, really awesome, but you never really see that. Blah. And then, you're with your ghost, and he's like, oh, Guardian, let me open this door. Hold up a second. There's bad guys coming. Kill them all, open the door. Woo! And then you do that. And then it's like, okay. After that, it's like, oh. And then you get to the end. It's like, oh, this is a strike. Here's a boss. Kill it. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then it's like, oh, you're doing a strike in the strike playlist. Oh, what do you know? It's the same strike. And you just killed this boss, but whatever, dude. So, totally persistent with the world and stuff, because you can just kill this thing over and over, and it just, doesn't not die. You just keep killing it. Isn't it great? And the loot you get off of it, oh man, amazing. And then, I'm not even talking about
So what was the turning point? What was the moment you said, this game is a worthless pile of crap? There had to be some point. You did something, and something hit you, and then you said, this game's a pile of crap. You loved it, bam, you hated it. Where was that bam?
The problem with the game is that there's only, like, one thing worth doing, which is the raid. And it's like, everything else is whatever. But then, because it's structured like an MMO, you can only do that and get the rewards for it once a week. So it's like, well, I can do that once a week with 3 characters, and then that's really all I care about.
Change it. What would you do to change it?
I don't know. I don't think it's fixable. There's the structure there is like, it works because it's gotten slowly better, but it just doesn't, to me as a player, it doesn't appeal to me anymore. I'm just like, whatever, I'm just going to play it once a week with my friends, and then there's like no real reason to be excited because it's the same crap. And I know when Destiny 2 comes out, it'll be the exact same crap of like, oh.
What happens to the change? You know as well as I do, they change games up a little bit to make it's not the same old. They can't have the same old. So therefore,
I don't know, dude. This game has been literally the same old for like 3 years. And it's like, oh, they slightly adjusted and changed it, but besides that, what has really been done?
Well, they're not going to put the new shine on an old game, even if they bring stuff out. They're testing. With all the stuff they bring out, they're testing a little bit. But then when they bring out the new game, it'll be something different. You'll see a lot of the same, but there'll be some tweaks and changes. You know as well as I do from playing these games that you can't just have the standard stuff. You'll have the standard stuff, but then you'll have some tweaks in it. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you'll see some changes in Destiny 2. When does Destiny 2 become revealed where you know where everything's happening? When does that happen?
They say the gameplay reveals in May.
Good.
So,
And who's going to be
yeah.
first in line to watch that?
Not
you.
me.
You.
And I'm sure they'll show it at E3, which is in June, so whatever.
Yeah. All right. So, doing a little turn back to a previous topic that we had here. The Switch. I want your impressions of this system.
I haven't played it.
Well, from what you've heard and what you've seen and all that, what do you think? Is it the nail in the coffin,
It's not the nail in the coffin,
or
it's not...
I'm not done my question. You listen to my question first. Jeez, I get you on a tangent about Destiny. All of a sudden, you think you're running the show here, which in theory you are. I'm just here as a guest. But is it the nail in the coffin, or is it the life's breath for Nintendo?
What's the life's breath?
As in, Nintendo's not doing so great. You know, from what I hear, Nintendo has put everything into making this console a success. If it doesn't, then you're never going to see another console from Nintendo again, and they're just going to go and be in Mr. Software, and they'll sell it, I don't know, on your Android or your iPhone. Oh, wait, they're already doing that. All right, we'll talk about that in a second, too.
It's not a nail in the coffin, but it's not going to be as successful as the Wii. It'll be more successful than the Wii U, but it won't light the world on fire like the Wii did. So I don't know how good it'll be or how successful, but it's not going to be the failure that the Wii U was. So at least they made a winner, I guess. So go Nintendo. At least you didn't suck it up again with this one.
There you go. All right. So, see, again, something that the Wii, everybody liked it, so they brought in a sequel called the Wii U, and therefore it was pretty much the same, except they did some tweaks. See, just like Destiny and
no. That is completely wrong, dude. Like, what that's a whole other can of worms. But basically, what they failed with the Wii U anyway was that they tried to the controller. Like, why did they have a giant screen? That was basically the big problem.
Giant screens. They like their phones. It's a way of kind of merging the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but the whole time that it was out, nobody got it. And they could never play it. They could never really explain it, and then it was just never. That's why it never took off, because nobody ever really got it. And then with the third-party support, it's like, okay, well, there's no games on. I mean, they fell into like, to me, it's like they fell into like the classic Nintendo trap, which is like they just can't match PlayStation on their output as far as like stuff that doesn't appeal to kids. So it's like their audience is there. I mean, everybody likes Nintendo games, but it's like how many times can you play that Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, whatever, until you get bored and got to move on to something better?
Are they catering to an older demographic?
No, they're not.
I think they are. I think they're still catering to those guys in their 30s and 40s who love Mario.
How? Okay. Please explain, because I'd like to be enlightened on how they're catering to the older demographic. Because I completely disagree. Okay.
Where are the new properties for Nintendo?
Splatoon and Pikmin.
Yeah, and is that going to be okay? Did you say Pikmin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the newest one besides Splatoon.
All right. So in the 80s, when Mario became a smash success, you saw him all over the place. Have you seen Splatoon anywhere? Have you seen Pikmin on billboards or in movies or on TV shows and cartoons?
Not in that regard, no.
Exactly. That's what it is. Mario is catering to an older demographic where guys are saying, yeah, a new Mario game, I'm going to play this. Finally, it's in 3D, so I can go play it instead of Sunshine and Universe and Universe 2 and all that.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Good, because you just said that 10 minutes ago. I used your own words against you.
No, and no 1,000 times over, because basically that's just a nostalgia factor, and that's just because Nintendo is like kind of like the Disney of video games, and they can just have these mascots and be like, oh, guess what? We have a new insert mascot here game of like, oh, we have a new Zelda, oh, we have a new Mario, we have a new Punch Out, we have a new F-Zero, we have a new whatever, like basically any character that's in Smash Brothers game that you can use, and then it's like, oh, we made a new game for them, because that's basically all they ever do. And then, like, you're lucky if you get one new IP per console generation. Like, Splatoon is, like, a new one, because that was last console generation for Wii U, and then it's like
And
there
you
might
think
be a new one like this one.
And you think that actually is going to be a game that we'll be talking about 5 years from now? Because we will be talking about it 5 years. I'm just talking in general, because I'll hold this against you for the rest of your life.
I mean, I won't.
Is that I say, hey,
about Splatoon,
how's that
and
Splatoon doing on the Nintendo Flip?
The only reason I will be talking about Splatoon is to make Squid Ink tentacle jokes, because that's what the game is. And it's Japanese, so it's thanks Japan.
Yeah, you've been watching too much anime. There you go. Anyways, but I'm just saying, in 5 years, we'll bring up Pikmin, and we'll bring up Splatoon, and we'll see exactly how they're doing in the in getting the mass market, people who don't usually play video games, to know them. Everybody knows Mario. Everybody, and on a lesser extent, people know Zelda. Or Link, if you will.
But how are they catering to an older demographic? That doesn't answer the question.
Because that's where the money is. And so when the Wii came, the parents...
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So basically, they're using their old characters, established characters, and then the old people are like, oh, I remember that game from my childhood.
Yeah, and I got kids now. I'll show them how I can... This is Mario. He's a plumber. And the kids go, Dad... That's so lame. And then you kick him off to the room and say, you don't ever say that about Mario. Mario's sacred. Sacred. Get out of my face. I don't even know you. That's what you're saying. Anyways, okay, so my last question to you, because you're just going on a tangent today, and I'm very fearful for my life if I keep you on. It is, so speaking of Nintendo, Mario just came out for the iPhone and Android. Do you have an Android?
Yeah, I do.
Excellent. Okay. Is it one of those flip ones? I'm thinking you have a flip.
It's not a flip phone.
Wow. Booty shots for Tekken. Anyway, so my question is, okay, so Nintendo's doing this. A, would you play it? And B, what does this signify?
A, no, I will not play it and have not played it. And then B, it's just because it's garbage. I don't find it appealing at all. And it's like, I don't like phone games. Like they're trash. It's like, there's nothing, there's like the exception, but like, dude, if you go on the Play Store or the iOS store, it's like, it's just a landfill in the sky, because it's all in the cloud.
You should pick up a Sudoku.
And it's it's all garbage. So it's like I have no appeal to like be on my phone and be like, oh man, let me tap my screen and scroll with my finger and be like, oh, this is so fun. It's like, no, I'd rather use a controller.
The reason why we never talked for almost a year in this past year? Because you were obsessed with Pokemon Go. And you're traveling from state to state trying to find an elusive Pokemon. That's what I heard the rumor was.
That's also false, because I could care less about that game as well, and I don't play it.
All right.
That's a whole other can of worms of like me just like crapping on casuals, but it's like, whatever, dude. If that's your thing, have fun. That's not for me, so whatever.
Okay, go ahead. I'll yell at you in a second. All right, go ahead.
And then B, what does this signify?
Yeah.
Is just that they're testing the waters for the mobile market, since they're getting the crap kicked out of them in the console market, and they got to make money somehow and make the stockholders happy with, got to make that money, ching. Or as a migrant worker said to me a long time ago in one of my first jobs,
a migrant worker.
Ching ching, no bling bling. So got to make that money for the stockholders. That stockholder money.
Can you please repeat that for me, please?
No ching ching, no bling bling.
No ching ching, no bling bling. Can you make that a shirt for me, please? Just at the very front, be no bling bling. Or no ching ching, and on the back, no bling bling. All right? I want that as a shirt. You should make shirts. When you move to wherever you're going now, you have all these sayings that you just make T-shirts. You're a T-shirt designer. And you get paid in American dollars. See how that works? All right?
Yeah.
All right. I got to think of a name for your T-shirt company. All right. So I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. Anyways, okay, so I think you're right about that. I think they're they're dipping their toe in two different pools. They're still doing the console, but if that doesn't work, we're starting to make a little headway into here. What would be the best Nintendo game for a phone?
For a phone? I guess Pokemon, which we already saw, so it's whatever.
Okay, let's try another one.
Okay, well...
Guessing.
Let me look up the Super Smash characters so I can know.
You just answered it. You just answered it right there. Super Smash Brothers for the phone.
Whatever, dude.
Multiplayer
honestly,
on there. You can fight anybody. That is the game that we take it on. I would say that is the game that should be running the Nintendo mobile market.
I would say that actually any of them, because people on mobile that like that crap have terrible taste, so it doesn't matter, and they'll just play whatever.
Wow!
So it's like, it could be any of them, because have you seen Flappy Birds? Have you seen Angry Birds? Have you seen insert shitty game here? Because that's kind of like what most games are on that platform, just saying, so whatever.
Have you ever watched the show Rick and Morty?
No.
You should. Look into that. But the next time we talk to each other, I want you to at least watch one episode of Rick and Morty. Preferably season 1. Episode 1. Alright? That's your challenge. I will be talking to you a lot sooner than a year. So therefore, you will be watching Rick and Morty. In fact, when you're done this, go on your wherever you catch your television on and go watch Rick and Morty season 1, episode 1, and you will enjoy it immensely. I think you'll probably think I'm Rick, but that's alright. Maybe you'll be Rick and I'll be Morty. It's one of the two. Anyway, so Super Smash Brothers is, I would say, the absolute number one game Nintendo should be pushing down the mobile phone market. It's a fighting game, and it's got all your characters, and you can do player versus player through the phone, and it just boom, 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 boom. Winner, winner.
So how's it going to control? Are you going to just like touch the screen, and that's like it?
Sure. Hey, I'm not
like,
Nintendo.
Like
I'm figuring it out.
Attack, special attacks, you really only need 2 attacks because whatever, it's a phone game. They're all terrible anyway, so I guess you won't really know or care, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the best part. You dumb down the mobile version, all right?
Actually, so therefore, you could do that, just to dumb it down, because that doesn't care.
You eliminate the button pushing and all that, and then, hey, you want to play this, and you want to play a little bit better? Then you come and buy the Switch, and we'll have a game here for you, and it'll be much better. You entice them to come and buy the Switch, so you can have a much better fighting experience. They'll like it. Hey, this is great, and they'll come over. Oh, wow, this is even better. Oh, and there you go.
I don't think the upsell would work. I think you would just need.
I haven't done this in a while. Sorry. Oh, there you go.
I think that with the more lucrative version of that is just to use microtransactions to get crap that you don't need. But hey, whatever. It's that's what people do. It's like, oh, here's $1. Oh, it's $1. Oh.
Hey, as somebody once told me,
$1 to make you holler.
No ching ching, no bling bling. I like the fact you actually told me it was a migrant worker that told you that. That's the candle on the cake. Right there.
Well, I don't know if they were, but I just think I'm like 80% sure they were. So
And you're 100% sure they're probably not in America right now. That's what you're. Or won't be in a very short amount of time. That's it. What was that job that you're at then? I want to know this.
I was in the spice warehouse.
Wow. What was your favorite spice?
I didn't have one, actually.
You hated spice?
I didn't hate them. It's just it was like it smelled all the time, so I couldn't really smell them.
So you were packing spices or making the spice?
It was like putting them on scales to weigh them and then blend them.
Really? Oh, okay. So you're like the premix. Oh, yeah. Very interesting. How long did you work there?
Like, probably like 6 months or something. I don't know. It wasn't a year.
No. You got out of that real quick. Absolutely.
I didn't quit. I got laid off. So it's.
Oh, there you go. Spice season's over, baby. That's all I'm saying. Well, see, I learned something new about my friend Chris Adams, Ticketmaster. I like that. When did that start happening? Anyways, you're saying your actual
this season of the podcast.
Wow, what made you change that up?
Just because I wanted to tie it into my. It's weird because on YouTube there's all these videos about like how to make your channel better, blah blah blah, grow your audience, blah blah blah, and it's all about branding, blah blah blah. I was like, well, since my channel is my name and not Ticketmaster anymore, I'll just say my name, and I can just say both and like whatever. So it's like that's how it started.
Number one thing you have to improve on, Tekken, you gotta get breasts. That's if you wanna improve your YouTube viewership. Number one thing, bud.
That's not happening.
Well, I'm just saying, you're behind the 8 ball already. That's. Have you ever thought like doing screenshots of like naked women and you put them up there and then have people click on it and all of a sudden have it be about video games and they're saying, man, there isn't even a naked woman in this thing.
No, I have not.
Good. Well, that would increase your viewership. Not for very long, it'd be like 10 seconds. Where's the chick? What are you talking about Mass Effect for? What the hell's a Mass Effect? I'm having a Mass Effect right here because I saw the picture of that girl on the YouTube thing, and now she's not even in this picture. It's some smooth-talking guy called Chris Adams, the Ticketmaster. So here's what you got to do to improve your YouTube viewing. Get breasts, all right, grow them. Or eat, and you should have a co-partner who's a woman who doesn't like to wear much clothing. Start video chatting that. That's all I'm saying. And just have her pick up stuff here and there, around the camera. That's all I'm saying. I'm just looking out for your best interests. All right. If you want to be paid in American dollars. Whilst traveling, would you? Okay, here's my question to you. All right, you're the traveler. You're the man who's saving up for a grand adventure. Would you ever travel to Europe and backpack across Europe?
I don't know.
Because the euro.
I mean, maybe before Brexit, but maybe not so much after Brexit. Just
Just saying. Yeah, that's right. Look at you.
A land united preferred to a land divided. Just saying.
Right. So you are a fairly well renowned, educated man. I'll give you that. If you were to put yourself up against the average American, are you saying you're a little bit more with it?
Actually,
where are you?
We're
into an hour into this. Nobody's listening to me rant by now, so I can say what I want. The NSA is no longer listening to this. I already got dinged for the Milky Way comment. I'm sure they're checking up on my files, but they're probably right now they're not listening. So basically, you are up there because you don't stay just within America and America news. You actually know what's going on around the world. Do you find that a lot of the Americans only listen to or care about American stuff and not really what's going on outside their borders?
That would probably be the case because there's a lot of bubble syndrome happening.
And what would a bubble syndrome be?
I only care about things that are, about people like me or in the places by me. So
does that frustrate you?
Outside of the United States.
Does that who are you imitating?
Nobody. I'm just talking weird.
Okay, good. Okay, I thought there was somebody in your world that actually talks like that, and you're just kind of giving them a shot. That's good. Anyway, so is that what frustrates you right now?
Yeah, I guess so. Actually, yes. Yes.
Is that's what's pushing you to leave? Because it's like you can see
it's
things
not pushing me to leave. It just adds more fuel to the fire of like terribleness.
Adds more fuel to the car, if you know what I mean. The further you can get away from the exactly. But because you're frustrated and you're seeing the country that you love, going down the tubes, and then you're seeing what's happening. to global warming and all that, and what the administration is doing in regards to that, which is absolutely nothing. Yeah, the reverse effect, and so you know that bad things are going to happen. So that just makes you want to leave. My question to you: how long? No, I'm not going to get that because we're getting pinged by the NSA, so I'm not even talking more about that. But I'll just say you're more than welcome to come here with your American money, okay?
American money.
Yes. Come to my town, and we'll do a video show together where we'll rant and we'll bring some women to pick up stuff in front of the camera. It will be a good time. You will be paid well for your YouTube channel. Just invite some of your lady friends over. Hey, can you pick that up for me? Okay, thank you. No, you're not in the camera shot. Move over a little bit. Now pick it up. There you go. Oh, there you go. So you're trying to improve your YouTube viewership. So what else have they told you?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, you're trying. That's why you're looking at all these videos to improve your viewership, right?
Yeah. I haven't watched a lot of them though.
That's all right.
I mean, they're kind of just basic stuff about like, oh, just use this or
use tags.
It's so annoying. It's super annoying because it's like it's like you have someone who's made it and they're just like, oh, just do the basic things, and it's like, dude, that is not how that works, dude. Like I've been doing this for like 5 years or more, and it's like that just there's more to the story than that. So these aren't really helping, but hey, whatever, right? At least you got paid. Whatever.
Yeah. No ching ching. What you gotta do?
It's like put a descriptive title, put a descriptive description, use tags.
And tags.
Share through social media.
I gotta check out that because I've made videos in my life. You've seen some of my videos. And I'm proud of the fact that they've done over 100 views. Now, do they last very long? No, but they're not too bad. It just takes forever to do. See, your videos are perfect because they're you. The video is of you, and it's the easiest thing for me. Who wants to see me? So I have to go and I have to edit. And I put this, like when I was doing the comic book reviews, it was like editing and had to get it perfect, and it's like, oh, this takes forever. So I'm sure that if I went and put a camera in front of my face, that it would break. So I don't really want to do that. Anyways, are we all done yelling at each other yet?
Sure.
Excellent. All right, sign us off, big man.
All right, well, I just want to say about the Massacre Andromeda thing. Like,
Oh, God, he's back on
the critiques, some of them I will agree with, but then some of them, they're not as bad as they're like, made out to be in reviews, just saying. Like, it's not that bad. Like,
yeah.
Also, the whole fact of, like, people complain about the sister writer face. It's like, dude, if you're playing a Massacre, or just if you're playing a Bioware game, like, the whole point is to make your own character and make him look like you and customize him. Not to be all like, oh man, look at this default, whatchamacallit. There's a word for that. Template.
Look how big I can make this chest. That's what you do. You want to create viewership for that. Have your character have a big chest and run around. Man, I just got you 1 million viewers. Get one of your create a female characters.
You can't do that. You can only adjust the face. But yeah,
can you adjust what they wear? Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah. It'll be extent, all right. Do it. Fallout. You should pick up Fallout because I played that game as a female because I made a mistake and I picked the mother instead of the father of the story, right? Haven't played Fallout, then you'll get it. So I could have played that game with her in her bra and underwear, and I could have got lots of viewers if I were to stream that. I would. You know something? I might starting to get paid in American dollars now. Excuse me, where's your clothes? Woo! Whoopsie. I gotta take a bath in this irradiated pool of water. Da 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 da. Anyway, I just made myself 1 million views right there.
But yeah, you know, it's like I mean, yeah, you complain about the face, but it's like, come on, like you're playing a Bioware game, make that Shepard or that writer or that character.
Well, you got
your
to.
own.
But the thing is, when it becomes the benchmark, you know what I'm saying? That bar is so high that anything that has a name attached to it will be judged by that bar. And if the other games had great facial recognition, blah 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 blah, then you expect this game to have great facial recognition. You know it.
To me, it wasn't even noticeable. So I was like, whatever, man. I just see them talking, and it looks fine to me. So it's like I'm not that peculiar about it, like some other people, but whatever.
Okay.
Anywho, that's it for this.
So anyways, so basically what you're saying is that Mass Effect is a 7 out of 10, worst of the series. All right, thank you.
Whatever.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
No ching ching. No bling bling.
All right, so yeah, that's our episode for this week today. Until who knows when we'll record again. So yeah.
See you next year.
So yeah, until you hear from us again. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends or not. That's cool too. And until you hear from us again, we're now signing off. No ching ching, no bling bling.